Today, we're going to be talking about two death metal classics out of Florida. So, we've got Nocturnus with The Key and Thresholds. Okay, and in the background, we're listening to the gloomy reflection of our hidden sorrows. That's close enough to what I was going to say, but this is by Cenotaph. They're from Mexico. The singer was in The Chasm, and he was also on Diabolical Conquest by Incantation, so check this shit out. It's really good. Anyways, so The Key. Basically, I guess we'll talk about before The Key first, because that makes more sense. So, Mike Browning was in Morbid Angel, and for whatever reason, he got kicked out, and then he decided to form Nocturnus, and I think they put out one or two demos before this. One of them was just called Nocturnus, and the other one was called The Science of Horror. And you can find that on streaming relatively easy. I think it's under just the Nocturnus demos. I can check because I'm on their page right now anyways. Yeah, just the Nocturnus demos. They're not, it's pretty much just demo versions of songs that are on The Key. And then there's two that didn't make the cut. I guess it's worth listening to those two, but the other ones, they sound better on The Key. Anyways, Mike Browning on this does drums and vocals. I know live he did them at the same time, and I know in the music video for Like a Fire he's doing it at the same time. I don't know if that's how they recorded it, but I'd like to think that, because that's really fucking impressive that he could be able to do that. I really don't like this style of CDs that Earache makes, where it's just a flimsy piece of cardboard with a piece of plastic and then the CD, because you miss out on, the booklet and all that. So I'm hunting for a first press of The Key, or just, I guess, any press before this one. But this album, 10 songs. Originally it had 9. I think Undead Journey, track 5, is a bonus track, which is... It's kind of weird that they put it in the middle, but I remember that was the bonus track. So the tracks, you've got Lake of Fire, Standing in Blood, Visions from Beyond the Grave, Neolithic, Undead Journey, Before Christ / After Death, Andromeda Strain, Droid Sector, Destroying the Manger, and Empire of the Sands. So this album... It's like kind of the Morbid Angel style of death metal, but a little bit more, how do I say it? A little bit more like hectic, a little bit more frantic, lot more tempo changes, a lot more like odd-paced riffs and all that. There's more progressive elements than anything on like Altars of Badness or Blessed Are the Sick, but it does sound similar. It's not like... I don't know. You can tell that they're two different bands, and this one has more interesting stuff going on, and they use a lot of keyboards. They have an entire keyboard player, Louis Panzer, and he incorporates keyboards into death metal, but not like how some bands do it, where they have like an interlude, or they'll have it over a solo, or so, you know what I mean? Like they'll just have like chords playing while a solo plays, or they'll do an interlude or an outro or an intro. The keyboards are actually a big part of the songwriting. They'll have keyboard breaks, they'll have keyboard solos, which is really cool. I think the keyboards are a little bit more prevalent on Threshold, but I guess we'll get to that. So, you got a song like a Fire, starts with some like ethereal kind of keyboard sounds, and then has kind of like almost a thrashy kind of build-up, kind of sounds like something like... It sounds more thrashy in the beginning, the first riff, and then it... I don't know, he does a keyboard hit and it just goes like, ah! Like, I think it's like a scream sound effect. It's pretty cool. Or it's just some sort of like voice preset, but it sounds really cool. Lyrically, that song is pretty fun. Actually, most of these songs have pretty dumb lyrics. I think in Like a Fire, pretty much every line ends in like hell or death or fire. Like, it's really stereotypical, but it works because his vocals are kind of... Mike Browning's vocals are a little bit more closer to like barking than actually just like doing death growls. It'd be like it's bones crashing, skull smashing in the vice of hell, but he's like bone crashing, skull smashing in the vice of hell. Like that's how it goes. So you don't need to be paying attention to what he's saying. Yeah. Spirits forming, ever swirling in the abyss of hell, skulls screaming for their lives from the depths of hell. Demons swarming, corpses smashing through the gates of hell, Satan flying from his throne toward the gates of heaven. Yeah. It's just hell, fire, like a fire, like a fire, like a fire, because that's the chorus, and then hell, hell, hell and heaven. That's all the rhymes. So, but whatever. Standing in Blood is another great one. There's a really cool riff in there that's kind of like punches you in the face. It goes like bam, 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 bam. That gets me going every single time I listen to it. Before Christ After Death has like probably the best actual chorus because it comes back a bunch. Like it's not like Standing in Blood where it's just basically said a bunch at the end. Like Before Christ After Death has the chorus throughout the whole song. Droid Sector is a really good one. Destroying the Manger is a classic. That one's great. But standout tracks on this one would have to be Lake of Fire, Standing in Blood, BC-AD, Destroying the Manger, Undead Journey. Those are amazing songs. This whole album's amazing. I love this cover art. It keeps falling, but I have a flag up there that I printed of this album cover because it's super cool. It reminds me of like Lego Bionicle for some reason. Let me put this on. Let me see if you can see it better. That did like nothing. Holy crap! But it's a really cool album cover. It's Dan Seagrave art, and he's talented as fuck. I actually do really like this disc though, and I believe this is the like enhanced edition or something. Like it's like remixed. Got a picture of the band there. I'm gonna look up the band members actually, because I feel bad for not knowing. Mike Browning, Mike Davis is the other guy I knew, and then Louis Panzer. So Sean McNenny is on guitar, and then Jeff Estes is on bass. Mike Davis is the absolute I guess not unsung hero because people talk about him, but he's really cool. He plays this like yellow, I don't know what kind of guitar that is, but it's instantly, anytime I see a yellow guitar in that body shape, I'm like, oh, it's Mike Davis. I don't even need to hear the music. But his solos on every Nocturnus thing ever are so intricate and so they rely on feel a lot, but there's like, I don't know, they just kind of come in out of nowhere and they kind of play in unexpected like they play in connection to the music, but like it feels, I'm trying to explain it. Like it feels like a little bit disjointed, but it still somehow manages to work really well. And his guitar work is just so memorable. And he has a lot of sweep picking, which not a lot of in death metal at that time, but very, very good guitar work. He's very he's very shreddy, but he also has a lot of melody. He keeps a lot of feel. Again, a lot of sweep picking. It's really interesting. And then they changed vocalists in 1992 with Thresholds. I think Mike Browning's still on drums, though. I just think he stopped doing vocals. I will check my fact, though. I'll fact check myself. Yeah, he's still on drums. So it's Dan Izzo on vocals, and his vocals are good. They're not as good as Mike Browning's, but Nocturnus has never been a band where it's like the vocals are the main thing or the vocals are a big part of it. But yeah, a song like, okay, I'll read the tracks out first. Climate Controller, Tribal of Vodoin, Nocturne in B minor, Arctic Crypt, Aquatica, Subterranean Infiltrator, Alter Reality, and Grid Zone. When I first heard a song like Aquatica after listening to the key for a while, it was really weird because it's way slower, it's way creepier, and I don't know, it's just the way it's either in an odd time or something, or the emphasis is on different points than like 2 and 4, because it's very like meandering, and it's this album has a lot of atmosphere, which I really appreciate, but it's like it feels like off, and it takes a couple listens to really understand what's going on, especially when I was listening to it when I barely knew anything about like death metal's approach to like song structure and all that shit, so I really wasn't expecting something like that. But that's a really cool song. It was set in the future, but the future already happened because this it's about an underground underwater society in 2023, but that didn't happen, so it's kind of funny. Nocturne in B minor, if you want a quick example of how good Mike Davis is as a guitarist, listen to that. It's a great interlude. I believe it's in 5/4, and it speeds up and it slows down, and there's long melodic guitar breaks, and there's keyboard action. Arctic Crypt is easily the best song on here. Top 5 Nocturnus songs for me. The bass in the chorus is really cool. There's a cool acoustic guitar part, I think. Either that or it's just really clean electric. I'm pretty sure it's acoustic. But it has this break, and it reminds me of Sacred Serenity by Death, the break in that. And it's not really that similar, but it just, that type of break, it's underutilized in death metal, where they have like the really clean acoustic sounding break. And it works really well, and it adds to the depth of the song. This definitely has more atmosphere, because all the songs are about different things. They're all kind of creating their own little worlds within the parameters of the songs, and almost all these are just about going back in time and killing Jesus as a robot, or like with the help of a robot. Like, it's a cool thing. Like, the robot's cool, but lyrically and sonically it's a little bit, I don't want to say one-dimensional, because that sounds like an insult, but it's, in comparison to this, there's more going on with the atmosphere here. I mean, look at that. Actually, both of these album covers are great, but this one's really cool. Some cool shit on the back, too. And then I guess that's like that's supposed to be their little pentagram logo. Yeah, pentagram. Yeah, there's the lineup. Yeah, pretty much the same guitarist, same 2 guitarists, same drummer, same keyboardist. They just got a vocalist this time instead of using their drummer, which I bet Mike Browning was appreciative of, because Jesus, that sounds hard. But yeah, this is a classic. This one is way less of a classic than the Key, but if you like the sound on the Key and you like stuff like Atheist or Cynic or Death, you'll probably like this. Maybe it won't be your favorite, maybe it won't be your piece of time, maybe it won't be your symbolic, but it's a great album, and it's worth listening to. I listened to this in full the other day, or it was like 2 weeks ago, and it was really cool. And it's kind of a challenging listen, I would say, because it subverts your expectations, and it's really cool. But I would say still the Key is the superior album, but this has some highlights that are as strong as stuff on the Key. And honestly, I'll do my top 5 Nocturnus songs, because they're like, it's mostly stuff from the Key and Thresholds anyway. Lake of Fire, Standing in Blood, that's 2. Arctic Crypt, Possess the Priest from this EP, phenomenal. I think that might be their best song ever. And then either Nocturne in B minor or BCAD, or maybe Destroying the Manger. It's close, but I need to get this. It's not called Dark Art for Black Souls. I don't know why it says that. It's called Nocturnus, just self-titled. It's 2 songs. Possess the Priest, amazing. Mummified, amazing. Possess the Priest is a weird fucking song. Like, that era between, I think this was released between the Key and Thresholds, still when they were going for like a more, because this is a darker album. This is more sinister than Thresholds, but Thresholds has more probably more experimentation, probably more definitely more atmosphere. It's more like lush album, I guess, in comparison. Subterranean Infiltrator has some cool parts. There's some vocal effects on this one too. They did try to do something different with this, and I respect it for what it is, and I do appreciate it a lot. But yeah, to say which is the superior, it's got to be this one. This one has just the better lineup of tracks, the better flow, the better like cohesiveness as a whole. This one's a little bit more disjointed. This has less like, they kind of all feel like their own different little worlds, but they are kind of connected. And this Threshold's is just a little bit less memorable in my opinion. I already, like, I listened to it, like I said, like a week or 2 ago, and I kind of iffy on remembering some of the songs because they're a little bit odd. But listen to this. It's worth it. I'm kind of downplaying it, but it's a great album. Just got to critique it a little bit. But yeah, The Key and Thresholds, two classics. They fit right in with stuff like Atheist, Cynic, Death, all that type of shit. But yeah, both great albums. Both are worth listening to. But I just wanted to talk about my opinions on which one's better. That's about it.